I'm Miss Marcy, and you are listening to Conversations with Miss Marcy podcast. If you are looking for watered-down conversations, this might not be the podcast for you. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And today I am joined by a guest, Mr. L.A. How are you doing today, L.A.?
I'm well. How are you, Ma?
I'm pretty good. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. I appreciate you having me.
Cool. All right. So, man, I am just going to get right into it. So, we were talking about basically why do we as people feel that we are behind in life? Now, I don't know about you, but I have had those moments where I'll be like, dang, like, I feel like I'm so behind. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. I'm this age. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, why am I not there yet? But I hear so many people say that. Do you ever feel like that?
All the time. I think it's the nature of the beast. It's just human nature to feel like you could be doing more or doing better. And let me take that back. Not necessarily human nature. It's the drive. It's the drive in you. Because everybody don't have that drive. Everybody don't have those thoughts. It's those that are trying to move forward that are constantly thinking that they're not moving forward fast enough. There's a lot of people stuck and content with where they at. But I think for those that are trying to get places, that's something that we constantly deal with.
Mm-hmm. I think that's true. I think it's true because you got to ask yourself too, like, I mean, behind by whose standards, you know? Like, who said by 25 you had to have a house, and by 30 you got to, you know, have had all your kids, and, you know what I'm saying, be married and stuff like that? Like, who said that?
Right, who set those standards? I think, you know, some of it is, and the flip side of it is, sometimes it's true. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're not where you're supposed to be. And it may not be by anybody's standards, but, you know, if you're 40 years old still staying with your mother, then, you know, like, depending on the circumstances, you're not where you're supposed to be.
That is true.
And so sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's the truth. Sometimes it's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like I told you earlier, you know, reality TV makes it tough. You know, TV in general and social media where everybody's posting, you know, their best life, and
oh my gosh,
you know, that's not necessarily the case. You know what I'm saying? It's just pictures and what people and what they want you to perceive of them. But you know, that's it. Just trying to, your eyes are bigger than, you know, sometimes what your pockets can keep up with.
You right about that. Because I know. Yes. You know what? Speaking of social media and people looking like they're living their best life, have you seen that documentary, the Fire documentary?
I have not, but I will have to look it up now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it was basically covering the situation that happened back in 2016 where it was Ja Rule and some other guy. It started off as an app that they were developing, where on the app you would be able to like book celebrities and stuff like that. But in order to kick off the app and to promote it, they decided to have like this festival, and it was supposed to be a huge festival, like an elite type of event where, I mean, the top of the top people were supposed to be there, and they was trying to like make it look so, I mean, just very extravagant, and it turned into a disaster. But because of the pictures that people were seeing, they just knew it was about to be on and popping, but it wasn't. It was crazy. Yeah, you gotta look that up. It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But let me find out 50 Cent called in and messed that up too. You know, he be a Ja Rule head out. Find out he sabotaged his act and his whole event. I wouldn't put it past 50 because that's the kind of stuff he do, man.
Look, remember when he recently, I think he purchased like 200 tickets to 200 of the first rows of Ja Rule's concert.
I know, bro. He's like super petty, man. I'm telling you. His nickname should be Petty Wop, you know. Baby, won't you come my way? You know, I just, you know, oh, Jesus. I think, you know, back to the subject, I think you're right, man. I think it's like, for myself, My circumstances when I was young, I was homeless. And so I was growing up in the streets of LA, and it was real rough. But I had made up in my mind at like 14, 13 that regardless of my circumstances, I was not going to be a statistic. I was going to graduate high school because, believe it or not, like that is the pinnacle in Los Angeles. Just to graduate high school, you've accomplished something. So, I had made up in my mind that I was going to graduate high school. So I did. I graduated high school. And then I ended up moving to Texas at like 19. But when I came to Texas, and where I was at in Texas, I'm in a very rich area. And when I came here, everybody was going to college. And I look back at my friends who are graduating college, and I'm like, and I felt less than, and so I feel like, damn, look at all these people that I was in high school with who are graduating college, and look at all these people going to college. And I'm not there, and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And so sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's your own
surroundings.
Surroundings. Sometimes it's your surroundings. Sometimes it's your own goals. Because now I want to graduate college, and I'm 31 years old, and I'm looking like, man, I'm not where I'm supposed to be because I should have graduated 10 years ago.
Right.
So,
I think the feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be, I think sometimes it can be a good thing. It can, like you said, based on like, personal goals or whatever, or when you have people around you that are doing, great things or positive things, I guess it can be a good thing. I think it's just, I think sometimes though, we have to be careful because we can be hard on ourselves and kind of beat up on ourselves sometimes.
I agree. We are always our own worst critic. And we just gotta, again, we got to stop watching other people.
Yes.
And like you said, the standards that other people set, like, we don't have, if you're happy, if you're content, if things are working out for you, then you're in a good space.
And
you can't be looking at everybody else.
Right. And I think sometimes it can cause people to sometimes people go through depression and stuff behind that. Some people be just feeling down and out, or, you're not supposed to compare yourself to other people, because that's like, man, that's like the ultimate suicide to yourself, is when you sit back and compare yourself to other people. So is it like a double-edged sword then, feeling like,
most things in life, it's like, it can be a gift or a curse, It can be a gift in the fact that it can motivate you to get up and keep pushing and work harder to get where you're trying to go.
Right.
It can be a curse in the fact, like you said, that you can be stressed and depressed and cause your body harm and physical harm to yourself just because you overthinking and overanalyzing what other people are doing, or, where you're supposed to be at. Here's a prime example. I'm a barber, work in a barber shop, and there's several of us in the shop. Well, the barber next to me, he's an Army veteran. You wouldn't know that if you don't know him, right? And so he comes in quite often with new clippers, like every week. Being a barber is expensive. These clippers are $200, $300, clippers, or, pieces of equipment. So every week he's coming in with something new. So as a barber, you don't want to be the guy in the shop that don't have all the latest stuff.
Right.
So, you're trying to keep up with him because you don't want clients going to him because he got the latest stuff and you falling behind. However, again, he's an Army veteran who receives disability, right? So he can get $3,000 a month of disability every month. So his resources are different than mine.
Right.
So I can't just compare myself to him and try to keep up with him because I'm not in the same position as him. So I don't have that extra $3,000 coming where I know I'm good and I can go splurge on these things. I have to work extremely hard. And so I could be depressed trying to keep up with him, or I can just understand my situation and I'm doing the best that I can do.
And that was a good example, and that's a good point. That's a damn good point. And that's what we have to realize as people too. Like, you got to be careful comparing yourself to other people, because also you don't know what sacrifices people are making. You don't know really people's backstory as to, how they are, where they are and things like that. So that's a lot to take into consideration instead of just jumping and saying, "Oh my gosh, this is why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that?" You really have to you just got to know that everything comes with some type of sacrifice, and if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, you really shouldn't compare yourself to people.
Right.
So.
Right. There you got it. And that social media wear you out, and beyond social media, reality TV will wear you out. Don't even get me started on reality TV. Reality TV is
what you think is the devil?
Game. Excuse my language. I don't even know if we can curse on this show.
Are you good?
Messing up the game, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They got all these people out here. I'm just so amazed that people will go home and sit in front of the TV for hours to watch somebody else's fake reality. Like, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
It is so insane.
But I think, I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I'd be lying if I said I don't be entertaining that shit. I do. I have my select few. Like I told you, I was just watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And right. I have my select few. But, I think it's more so just for entertainment purposes, because you got to be able to know, like, okay, all of this shit is not real. All of these women are not living like this, not for real. You know what I'm saying? So right. I think if you can do that, it's okay. And as long as you don't try to just indulge in it too much. And like I said, if you understand the difference, then it's good. But I be looking at that sometimes too, like, man, when you watch them, they be taking all these lavish trips and they be doing this and doing that. And it's like, hey, y'all got to keep in mind, Bravo is paying for this shit. VH1 is paying for these trips and things like that.
Right.
So,
right. Oh, and they making us look bad too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get into the mindset of watching them and trying to be like them and the things that they say, and you start watching this knowing that this ain't really real. But the more you be surprised, the things that you take on subconsciously
mm-hmm.
when you're watching stuff or listening to different things, and the energy that you get, and you'll be surprised at how many people emulate what they see.
Yeah.
Trying to be this and trying to do that and trying to be like everyone, like you said, just feeling like they not where they supposed to be. And messing up a bunch of relationships in the process, trying to be like them.
Having unrealistic because they have unrealistic expectations. Mm-hmm. Because of what they see on TV.
Or they think they can be messy like they do on TV. Them shows messy.
Well, they gotta have the drama.
Exactly, but that's what I understand. Like, this shit is scripted drama. So don't bring this into my life, because it ain't gonna go the way you scripted. I'll be the nut up on somebody.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, I think it's just, like I said, it's entertainment, but you gotta understand when you stop watching them, that's where it should stop. But you're right, it does play a part in our subconscious mind. I wonder too if traveling has gone up because of reality shows. Because people they be taking trips on there and stuff on these shows, and they be going to nice places. And like you said, people try to emulate this stuff. So I wonder if the travel has gone up because of that.
It may have, but then you got to be in a position to be able to travel.
Right.
Maybe using your baby daycare money to go travel. Then your baby ain't got no daycare, and then you feeling like, why I'm not where I'm supposed to be? I lost my job because I got to watch the baby because I don't have daycare, and I ain't where I'm supposed to be in life. But damn it, you need to prioritize and quit trying to be like everybody. You can't be using the baby diaper money for CPS gonna be in your life.
Or the child support checks. Yeah, so.
You get mad at your baby daddy talking about he ain't sending you enough money. He done paid you for the month. Are you using all that money on your hair and nails trying to look like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and now the baby ain't got no diapers and you mad at him?
Right.
What you supposed to do?
Right. Because that child support, that's like the new lick now for some women.
Oh my goodness, just the years. Motherfuckers having babies just to get on child support. No one ain't want to be with you. Trapping. No one don't want to be with you, but hey, that child support. I'm like, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the kids are the only people getting hurt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Let's take a quick break.
and karma is real. You know, it's hard to do the right thing. It's hard sometimes, because the wrong way is so easy.
It is.
But karma is something else. You feeling like you ain't where you supposed to be because you have burned a lot of bridges in your life too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you may not think about it now, but 5 years down the line, that person that you burned or cut off, it may be the person that you need to really help you or give you an opportunity. And man, I had my daughter's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I was moving in with her. We had been, getting real serious, and I had been at her house for a while. We had discussed, I'm here damn near every day. We might as well move in. And so I was moving in. I had my movers. We moving stuff in, and she came home, and she gave me this look of like, it wasn't the look that I was expecting. It was like a shock kind of look, and I was like, yo. And in my heart, I felt like, no, something ain't right. I told my movers, I said, nah, let's take it back to the truck. I ain't even finna go there.
What?
She ended up telling me, yeah, she was like, because I was down. At this point, I was really trying to figure out life.
Oh, okay.
She ended up telling me, like, she ended up telling me, like, yo, I didn't believe that you were going anywhere with your life. Like, I didn't see that.
Oh, wow.
So she didn't buy into, my goals and my plan and all of that. The people will count you out. People will count you out. And you just got to keep on going. You even if you feel like you're not where you at. Like I said, sometimes it's the truth. Sometimes it's your mind playing tricks on you. It could be the gift. It could be the curse. But you just got to keep going.
Right.
You got to pick up your feet and put your big boy pants on and your big girl panties and take one step at a time and keep going. It was a time where I was dieting. I was doing a fast. It was crazy. I had fasted for like the month of February, only liquid. And it was so tough for me the first 2 or 3 days. But I learned a valuable lesson in that fast. It was just take it one day at a time.
That's
take
right.
everything one day at a time. And I looked up and I was 21 days into a fast and I had lost 20 pounds.
Ooh.
And man, people just got to keep going. Take it one day at a time. Keep your chin up, your head up, and quit trying to be like everybody else. Do you, boo? Do you? Miss Marcy, do you, baby?
Yes, I am too. I am. And you know what? I'll be lying if I say I never went through, a phase where I did feel like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. And, cause like, for instance, I don't have any children, and I am, in my late 30s. I don't have any kids. And I'm like, but that's okay. I mean, because right now I'm just like, sometimes I feel like maybe I do want at least one. And sometimes I feel like maybe I don't want none. But whatever the case, I'm living my life on my terms. I feel like I'm not going to go out here and be trying to have no kids just because, society tells me by 40, I can't have any more kids because that my biological clock is ticking and it's a wrap by that time. No, I'm not going to do that. I just feel like, especially when it comes to having kids, I feel like nobody should be telling you when you should and all that stuff. I think it's just really a personal decision because, hell, I'm the one that's going to have to, me and hopefully I'm married and I'm with the father or something like that. But, if I'm not, hell, I'm the one that's got to raise this kid, not society.
Right. Well, I got a lot of kids, though.
Do you?
Society told me I had my kids young. Shit, I had my kids. I was 18 years old. I was 18 with no kids, 19 with 3 kids. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Social norms.
Mm-hmm.
Social norms. We are not bounded by social norms.
Right.
And the best of us understand that when you can step outside of the social norms and step outside of the box. And do you and be complacent in what you got going, and that's when you find joy and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best times was when I really didn't have much and nothing. We lived in a cable, no internet, and we made do. We would just sit up and talk and play dominoes or cards or something. And that was, for me, one of the most peaceful times of my life. I had companionship, and nothing else even mattered. All the material things don't matter, man. We are so, when we say, I think most of the time when people feel like they're not where they supposed to be in life, they probably basing it off some material shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why I'm not driving the nicest car, or why my house don't look like they house, and why my bathtub don't look like they bathtub, and why I ain't got these $3,000 red bottom sneakers. Like, all that shit don't even matter.
And bro. Why I don't have about 5 degrees.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I know people with degrees that working at the same grocery store that I was working at. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these people got degrees and ain't got no common sense.
Trying to tell you, I can do a whole nother show about the whole degrees and all that stuff. I'm telling you. But you know.
Man, I'm in the same place. I feel like I'm not where I brought up, you know, I wanted to graduate college and I still haven't done so. Mm. And now I got kids and I got multiple jobs and I'm trying to, you know, I'm a community leader and I'm trying to go to school and it's just so much on my plate and it just seemed like I'm not where I'm supposed to be because that was a goal of mine, a dream of mine. However, I gotta weigh the outcome and, you know, the pros and the cons. Like, do I want to be $100,000 in debt because I have a personal goal that I want to accomplish? Or because in my career field, I don't really need a degree. And I don't plan on going to work for corporate America ever again. So do I go put myself in debt so I can accomplish a goal and relieve myself of that stress? Or do I be content like, it really don't do me no justice in my life path to have a degree other than to show my kids that it's possible, you know?
Right.
And so that's where I'm at, is just trying to figure out, you know, is it the smart thing to do or the right thing to do? Because sometimes your goals may not be the intelligent thing to do.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's very true. You may think you want or need something, and then it's like you turn around and you know, and it's just like, I would have been okay without that. Why? I didn't even have to really do that.
Right. Yeah, I bought a camera. It cost me like $600. I wanted this camera so bad. It's an amazing camera. I love it. But do I really use it enough for what I paid for it?
No.
Yeah, I do. But back to you, girl. You left me in Ohio and I'm in Texas because the way I'm fertile, you might be pregnant just talking to me. It's like looking at me get people pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So watch you and stay where you at, because I'm telling you that, like, it's something about who yet? And his voice too. And I'm tall, sexy, chocolate, dark with these dreadlocks. Girl, you better watch out now.
Oh God. You are crazy.
We ain't seen nothing yet. We just get started.
I wanted to add something to that. You just said something when you were saying about how you know, about going to college and stuff like that. And I was just gonna say, yeah, I think you're right about people when we do sit back and feel like we're not where we want to be in life. It is a lot of times based on material things for the most part. You know, but we, you know, like I said, it's just, we got to not get caught up in, you know, material and things like that. Cause that stuff don't even really make you happy. You could have all the money and all this stuff, but you don't even really have peace sometimes. Oh, and like what you said about when you were with your child's mom and stuff, and you guys were living together and you guys were, you know, kind of struggling or whatever, but that was the most peaceful time. Yes, it be like that, because you know they say the more money, the more problems that you have, and I believe that. And the more that you have, you gotta work so hard to keep that. So it's like when you do have those humble beginnings, it's like, yeah, those are the most peaceful times, because you ain't really you worried and you stressing about things, but it's not. It allows you to be like, it allowed you guys to be more, just more, engaged with each other, you know?
Right.
And that's more important.
Yeah, it was really a good time for me, man. You start getting into this rat race and just trying to keep up. And I got this car. I need the latest car. Well, guess what? In 12 months, it ain't gonna be the latest car no more.
Man.
And then you gonna want the next latest car, and you stay in this rat race.
Now you know what, and that's why I don't I really don't get into putting value on cars. And I mean, even these cell phones. I mean, I was telling one of my friends yesterday, I keep the same cell phone for a long time. Like, I don't jump on new cell phones when they come out. I keep my cell phones as long as it can do what I need it to do. I'm not going to buy no new phone, because when you upgrade to the next phone, you really find it's not even that much of a difference.
Right. So do the same thing.
Right.
Make phone calls, send text messages, get on social media. You do that on all the phones.
Right.
I'm in the same thing. I just can't keep up. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. Like you said, as long as it's doing what I need it to do, then it's sufficient, and I'm okay with that. I drive. I got probably like 7 cars. Not that I need that many cars, but they're all paid for. They're all little cash cars. They're all mine, and I don't have to worry about trying to keep up with everybody else. I'm blessed every month. I don't have a car note. I don't want it.
I know that's right.
And I probably pull up and people probably look at me and say, "Oh, he's driving that 2001 truck." But I keep it clean though.
Right.
And I get my oil changes.
Right. And like you said, it's yours.
No repo man coming to get my shit. You know?
Right. And you winning.
I'm winning.
Shit.
I'm winning. I try to keep that little extra couple $100 in my pocket and splurge on my baby, you know. I'm really enjoying this conversation with you, though.
Cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying it with you as well. So I'm glad we finally linked up.
Listeners are.
Right, okay. I'm glad we finally linked up, though.
Me too. I look forward to working with you. So, whenever.
Cool.
Whenever you let me know.
Cool. We can go ahead and end it there. And thanks again for joining me. All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on social media. All right, take care. You know, man.